What's up guys, theBolderBoulder here with a new Hero Factory MOC. And this is Stream. And she is a legendary hero. And quite famous. And she is also part of the Epsilon Team. Alright, so here is Stream. And like I said, a member of the Epsilon Team. A highly specialized team. So here's a 360 view of this character. As you can see, covered up on the back as usual. Fairly good coverage, of course, on the back of the arms like that, back of the lower legs, not as much on the back of the upper legs. Not much you can do about that though, but I'm satisfied with that. It doesn't look bad to me. It all works together. And so, her full name is Shyla Stream. And she is a very skilled fighter. Especially underwater. Now, to the point about her being legendary, there are legends about this hero. And she being one of the female heroes, there are quite a bit about her. And they're all good, and a majority of them are actually true. So now, let's get a quick look at all the details on her, and I'll go over each detail in the story about special parts on her. So here's her feet, and she's got something like high heels on, and these are actually little thrusters that you can use while traveling underwater. I'll get into more detail about that stuff in a moment. And I use these original bionicle feet. I had to include some bionicle elements in there, and that worked out good for me. Got these 5 long armor pieces on her lower legs. Then we've got these 3 long dark blue translucent parts. I really like these. I'm into all those translucent portraits. I'm so glad that the Brain Attack series had translucent elements in every single one of their sets. Way to go, Lego. And on the back of the legs, like that. Now here's the torso. Oh, that was just the drone on her back. I'll put that back real quick. I'll get to that in a second. Let's see, then here's her torso, and that also that dark blue. I really like that. These lines on here represent ripples in the water, as if something had been dropped. And then she also has blue on her hero core, because she's a very special hero. And most of the other hero cores are just plain white and plain. So I had to do something different for that, since I have a whole bunch of them. And here's the arms, dark trans blue, with a little white spike on here, sort of go along with the spikiness on her legendary blades. And on white armor down here, blue hands, blue feet, all that good stuff. And then here are her blades. And these are legendary blades, like I said. And she actually found them underwater. There had also been previous legends of the blades. So she herself went underwater to search for them and actually found them. So the blade itself, not really the hilt or handle or anything, the blade itself she found. The hilts on each of the blades, which are exactly the same. And it took me a little while to design, but this was the design I really liked in the end. She actually built them out of according to legend, teeth from a vicious sea monster. And that is true. There was an extremely dangerous sea monster that had been talked about by many people, and there had been reports of cargo and ships being sunk by this creature. And so, with these blades that Shyla had found, she used them to attack the creature and ended up destroying it, and actually used its teeth on her blades. Of course, they're cleaned and shined up and all that good stuff, and they're rock solid. So she uses that to her advantage, and actually has a little guard on her hand for protection, basically. And like I said, I got these blue pieces on here to go along with that theme. And now, move on to her head. The original Toa Mata Gali mask. That trans blue color, it really worked with this. This is the armor, the blue armor itself is actually the main inspiration I had to make this MOC. And then I built on from that. I made the torso and all that good stuff. And this head is really nice too. Of course, it's from that design I've used plenty of times. And it has a dark gray, which works with these bone pieces. And the green eyes really work. Especially with this white background that I have. The light reflects back into her eyes, and it's very noticeable. Before I had something that was dark green, you couldn't really see it that well. Now here's a look at her backpack. And it's actually a thruster as well for using underwater. And then here's this drone that's connected right here into back to these two connectors. And these convenient little pins connect right onto there. So this one can actually fly around, and she can use it for reconnaissance and all that good stuff. And built into her mask is actually a heads-up display on her right side. And then there's a camera built into this little drone. And while it flies around, it could be used for defense using this little, it looks like a little machine gun right on there. Blasters right here and here too as well. But it's also a camera right there in the middle. And it also has radar and sonar built into its little hull right here. So underwater, it can sense if there are things coming by, and on the air, it can read if there are villains nearby as well. So it's very nifty, and actually a little bit more powerful than the ones Stormer had in the Stormer XL set. And it's also a really cool piece as well. So let's connect it back onto her back, and now I'll talk a little bit more about her swords. The way she designed them because they looked cool and for their functionality. And underwater, see if I can adjust the head real quick. There you go. Underwater she can use these, and they actually can be used as mini thrusters as well, you know. It's not all that fast, but she can use it for just going on patrol underwater by using them alone. Or if she wants to go a little bit faster, she can use these mini thrusters on her feet. And that can go a fair speed. And underwater, a little thing she can do with her drone. I'll adjust this real quick. There. Now that it's above her head, like I was saying, it also has sonar. So it can read what's going on around her. If there's wildlife approaching, or if she's going at very high speeds, she'll know if there are any maybe rock formations or coral or whatnot in front of her. And again, if there's any kinds of creatures or if there are villains nearby as well, she'll be able to sense that. But also, a little bit more apart about the legend of these swords, which is actually true. Once the user has wielded these swords for a certain amount of time, they have a bit of a connection to each other. And so, which is why she can actually use them to thrust through the water. Before, she actually had to use the thrusters on her feet and her back to move along through the water. And the drone actually has little thrusters on there, and that actually assists a little bit as well when it goes to a higher power mode, and can actually help her go super fast through the water because of these, and the swords all going at the same time. I mean, I'd imagine she could go very fast that way. So, the little wings don't really affect her motions very much underwater, but yeah, like I was saying, these, because she has a special connection with the blades now, they can help her do what she needs. And she's just got a useful drone, these special blades, little boosters. She's all set up. And the heads-up display is also used underwater as well. I think it'd be something like maybe Google Glass or something, or any other types of, maybe even ones that you've seen in movies, like from the robot's view. You could see a heads-up display on this side of the screen, and you could see like targeting and everything. I think sort of like you could see on the in the Brain Attack video where Ferna was looking through his new helmet, he could see special things popping up. That's what it looks like to her. And it can actually identify objects around her as well, giving her special information about it. So she's well informed about her surroundings. Like I said, I really like this MOC. So she does deserve a special team, which is the Epsilon Team. So that's all I've really got for you guys. Thank you guys very much for watching and subscribing, and be sure to check out my Facebook and Blogspot pages. And I will see you again in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.